Hey guys, it's Bailey. Welcome back to the channel and thanks so much for tuning in to what's going to be a super quick review of the new Physicians Formula, the Healthy Eyeshadow Quads that they recently relaunched. I thought about trying to do this in a 60-second video format, but it's just a little bit too much to talk about here. Plus I have 4 of the 5 quads available, so I figure we should take our time. If you are interested in super quick reviews though, I have an entire playlist of 60-second reviews. If you want to go check that out, either click the I or check the description box below. But this will be super fast, I promise. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, I have 4 of the quads that are available. I picked these up from the Physicians Formula website, and at the time I thought I got all of them and there were only 4 available, but I just went to go check to double check the price, and there's one more that I apparently missed to pick up. So there are 5 quads available. I'm just gonna be talking about these 4 today though. So the formula with these is meant to be very smooth, very pigmented, and also meant for both wet and dry application, which is great in case you want to build that pigment intensity. The first quad I have is Canyon Classics. I had to pick this up for old time's sake because a lot of you who might be aware of the original Healthy Eyeshadow Quad formula, this was like a cult classic back in the early YouTube days because it was one of the few all matte quads out there that you could get your hands on and that had some decent quality to the formula. So here it is back in action. I don't have the originals to compare it to. Just from memory, I would say this one is definitely smoother and creamier feeling, but I do feel like the 2 mid-tone browns in here are awfully close together. There are some subtle differences. One feels a little bit lighter, maybe even a little bit cooler than the other, but for all practical purposes, they seem almost identical when they go on the eye, which is great if this is a shade that you use all day, every day, because it is a great transition shade for my skin tone personally. But in terms of having a quad that's a little bit more versatile and gives you a more variety of shades to work with, I wouldn't say it's one of those. This is definitely one of those staple shade sort of quads. Then there is the classic nude quad, which offers a mix of textures. There are 3 mattes in here and 1 deep chocolatey shimmery shade. By comparison, this leans a little bit warmer than something than like a Canyon Classic, but it does offer a little bit more contrast, more variety in those shades if you are looking for a nude palette with a range of, you know, light to medium, medium deep nudes, but you just want a little bit more contrast in there. The next palette, Smoky Bronze, I would say is almost Classic Nude's deeper, more dramatic older sister because it has similar warm tones to it within most of these shades, but all of them are just kind of taken up a notch or 5, honestly, because you have this beautiful gold, a lighter mid-tone, cooler brown, but then you have this beautiful deep warm tone chocolate and then this bronzy shimmery shade over here. So to me, these are comparable, especially mostly in undertone, but Smoky Bronze is just adds that hint of drama. And this one, I think, especially when used both wet and dry, gives you more versatility because this gold and this bronze are most transformative, I think, depending on whether you use them wet or dry. Then the last quad we have is Rose Nude, and this is actually the base of the look I'm wearing today. I'm wearing all of these shades on my eyes, and then I just added this gold in here over top. But what I did when I applied this, because this is another one of those palettes, kind of like Canyon Classics, where these 2 matte shades over here on the side just feel so similar to me. So I actually did a little test to show how different or similar they actually are upon application, and I'm wearing this top one over here on my right eye and the bottom shade on my left, and they create pretty identical looks. So once again, would have preferred a little bit more contrast in this palette, but if you find that these are your staple shades and you use them all the time so it doesn't hurt for you to have double of something that you love a lot, this might be a good option for you. But I personally always or tend to prefer more contrast for more options. Overall, I really like these. I think it's an improvement over the previous formula. Like, they do feel creamier. Having that additional versatility between wet and dry is nice. And not that I thought the original formula was bad, like it was groundbreaking for what it was at the time, especially coming from the drugstore. But you know, with new ingredients, better ingredients, more time, more technology, you can always improve. And so I'm glad they did that because sometimes, you know, products will relaunch, reformulate, and they're total duds. They're not at all as good as the original. And so it's nice to see that these are better. My biggest complaint, you could probably tell from my feedback in the rest of the video, is that the lack of contrast in some of these these quads, which might not, it's totally a taste thing, might not bother you. It's just my personal preference, but just a heads up if you're trying to decide looking at these online, maybe thinking that the pictures aren't doing the shades justice. I personally found them to be pretty close in a couple of these. But beyond that, they're pretty great. So if you're looking to rekindle your love of this particular shadow quad format from Physicians Formula, I definitely recommend you go check them out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys!